Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of What's the Plan? I am thine host. Today we are doing a Vortex Pinnacle. Another Mount Chance dropping instance. So,
Not that it ever drops for us.
no, but
Just
hey.
saying.
Is this the same hunter that we just grouped with? I don't think it is, but...
It is.
Is it?
Unless they both named their rhino the same thing.
It's the same name?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a rhino, but I didn't see the name.
Should we tell him to take his rhino's taunt off?
Can, but then I can't complain about it.
Oh. Alright. I'll leave it as it is then.
That's fine.
I would hate to deprive you of the enjoyment of complaining about it.
Yeah, but I get to complain to you, which is the key. So I would say, if you have a second, could you please tell? I could tell him as well. As you can see, we've actually just come from our last video. These are all the loot rolls from it. We have the Lurking Tempest. They only shoot while they are up, and they are only up when someone is not looking at them. So, the best part about being a Blood Elf is you can silence guys that are going to stand back. So we will use that to our advantage. It also generates a chi, which is not too shabby of a ratio. Turn in some health bars. This instance is an interesting one because you can get knocked off the edge, and it doesn't kill you or anything, but it just removes you from the action for a short period of time, which, depending on your role, could be detrimental. So you do have to be careful of your positioning. So, it appears the hunter has changed pets.
Although I think the wolf still has growl on.
Most likely it does. And you know what? That's okay. Yeah, I can see it taking damage, which is nice. You know, it is one of my favorite wolves. My hunter has this wolf as well. It is the wolf from Hellfire Ramparts. So, I do approve of that. And aren't we ultimately all out for my approval?
Are we?
I don't know, are you?
Not necessarily.
Sometimes?
Sometimes.
Alright, I'll take it. Little victories. You take what you can get.
That's right.
These Cloud Princes here used to be at least mini bosses almost. They summon, as you saw when we pulled them, a small wave of mini tempests. And basically, yeah, that's about it. Or Whipping Winds, they're called. But just a little bit of AoE and they go down pretty easily. Of course, I can't target one for anything. But that's okay. Like I said, they go down, and they're no problem. How's healing this instance?
Pretty good. I mean, I'm not having any trouble.
Good. As you can see, again, I am not really using my cooldowns the first few times we were here. When I had, 55,000 health, 60,000 health, it was a bit of a different story.
That was exciting.
Exactly. That's the way she put it. This boss here will summon vortexes that swirl around the room. Key point. Don't stand near them. That's pretty much the entire thing of this boss. So it's get to the center, so you're not getting hit by the vortexes. He will then pull the vortexes into him. Doing so, you'll have to back out and get shot by the vortexes, but it's better than standing in and getting shot by them all. And then it's just rinse and repeat. He shoots lightning bolts, no big deal. I'm using Breath of Fire, which is worse than Blackout Kick for bosses. So it's coming out, so you want to avoid them. You will take a little bit of damage, but nothing your healer shouldn't be able to handle. And then you go back in, and all is well in the world. Boss defeated. Make sure you loot him, because he will have a quest item, which some people might miss.
He said from experience.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, this slipstream will hide me. Going on, we have our turbulent squalls. You'll meet these guys in a couple places. We only pull one side here. But these guys will summon lightning storms. Don't stand under a lightning storm. Not too shabby. Everyone's here. Kahleesi is here. We are good to go. I could pull with my barrels, which I do tend to do, but sometimes you don't want to slow the mobs up and let them catch up to you. So I did not pull with the barrels this time. So, not to mention that the keg smash move will apply the debuff that I require on them as well. So, as much as I do love throwing barrels, it's just not always meant to be. So, assassins will poison you and do a stacking poison that just reduces your attack speed and movement speed. Not a big deal. Kind of silly as a monk as well, because you can just cleanse yourself. So just be like, hey, guess what? Bing! 8 stacks cleansed. And the dragon. If you pull this wrong, you are in a world of hurt. That aura will heal whoever's in it for 5% of its health every 1 second. So you have to wait for it to leave the aura and then pull it. You can then yourself get in it, so you have some extra healing. The group's damage is significantly high enough that it really doesn't make too big of a deal, but it can save your healer some mana and things of that nature. So, right, help your healer?
Yep. You always want to help your healer.
Exactly. PSA. These things basically cause a storm. You have to hit them a couple of times. Usually your range is good enough, and then just run past them. Cake of Peace.
Really?
Holy shit, that definitely has a shitload of health. Good for him. We have both groups over there. Duke and Lightning. So pull some Lightning. And we have it pretty much sorted out. I like to pull these guys first, get them out of the way. They will pat into you while you fight the dragon, who's the bigger threat technically. The dragon is immune to keg smash, so you can hit him a couple of times, build up some threat, should you so desire. Again, stand just on the edge of the well. You don't want to stand in the middle, because then the dragon will get the buff again and heal for 23,000 or... oh, probably 26,000. I don't know what I'm thinking. I can't even do math right now. It's terrible. But, again, can throw my barrels, but they're so spread out. You're going to pull the entire group that you don't want to... You want them to get grouped up before you slow them down. So, I am standing in the lightning, which is bad. So just bring them out. DPS will follow. And they die. And greens are to follow. Some bits better, worse than mine. Well, better, but worse than mine. The hit is very nice. I'm just going for stamina at the moment. Just because that's what I'm feeling I'm lowest at. Which leads us to the dragon boss. Who's going to drop the mount? Police is going to win it. Give it to me. That wasn't a no.
Might be accurate.
Who are we kidding? You can't win mounts. But I can. I'm actually pretty good at it. This boss shifts the wind to his beckoning. As you can see, I had a downwind debuff, but now I'm standing upwind, which is just my back is to this wind. You can even tank him like this, facing this way. It doesn't matter.
Can't hear you, just so you know.
Kahleesi can no longer hear me. Why, I do not know. But this is the same... Oh, this is a different axe. New axe. But... I don't know. If that Death Knight needs it, I might pass it. He greeted it. I can need it. So I get a new axe. Even though it's strength, and this is a... Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna... Well, parry and mastery strength. Okay. So this was technically not an upgrade, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Because it just looks cooler. By cooler, I mean identical. But I want it, and I feel bad for needing it if I'm not going to use it. I might not use it later, but for now, I'm going to need it. Or use it, because it's not a big deal. In this group, the adepts are your primary target. They will cast Greater Heal, which will heal them for about like 60 or 70% of his health. So that's why they're your primary target. Everything else is auxiliary. Are you still having problems hearing? That's a yes. Kahleesi can no longer hear.
Yeah, you're breaking up, that's all.
So, hopefully that won't come through. But hey, we're almost done with the instance, right?
Right.
Right. See, as long as I end something with the word right, she will reply. So, we're not going to pull this group just yet. Basically, this is an electronic field, an electron field, a static field. While they're in it, a grounding field. See, there we go, much easier. Spells targeting this unit will be redirected. Basically, it will hit you instead. So we wait for them to walk out. We get to the center and kill them. Now again, the primary target are the healers, so we will focus on disabling them, if possible. Luckily, our Breath of Fire is a disable, and as such, we have some very good DPS in this group, because stuff is just dying. So I approve of such. Do you approve?
Yep.
Yep. Doesn't even know what she's saying yep to. But that's okay. Now these guys are just a nuisance. Low health and just shoot random targets, so let's just sort of burn it down quickly. Got another static. Say it? They're annoying. Another static field and 2 more groups of 5. You know what? I'm gonna be nice. That guy's gonna be nice and frost trap. Not a bad plan. You know, we have the DPS to handle it, so we don't really need it. But you know, precaution doesn't hurt. And again, the pet with growl dies, so I approve of that message. If there's one message I can get across, hunters, turn off growl. Thank you.
Yes, please.
The only growling I need to hear is Kahleesi growling at me to, you know, play better. Oop, you pulled him closer. I was hoping. Right?
Yep.
Exactly. She does it all the time. And we are 1 pull away from the end of the instance. You can jump down a number of sides here. I'm going to jump down here. I like it. To catch this whirlwind. The wind moves you 70% faster, which is nice. You can jump all the way down, but I would not suggest that without a bubble. Or, by a bubble, I mean a Hand of Freedom, a Paladin's General bubble. Something along those lines. The Shadow Priest is casting Renew on people, so which is very nice. You can see he didn't limit himself. So, the limiting factor. It's good to see all around players. You can tell these people have been around probably for a while. They understand that, yes, they have a role of damage, but that doesn't mean that's all they're supposed to do. Well, for at least the priest, and I would imagine the rest as well. But just like Kahleesi, you will see do damaging spells and stuff when she's really bored. Which is sometimes, not all the time. That's why I try to keep things interesting. This boss basically summons adds that do damage and creates this field. As soon as it is finished, which it will be in a second, he will do AoE on the ground and kill basically anyone outside of said field. So you can see those are the adds, and that's the fight. So again, not much to it. Just get in the field when you need to. Leather gloves. Which are...
You see, no loot for me this instance. I'm just saying.
I know, it's such a good day. But I prefer my hit and expertise to critical strike and mastery. Well, hit and expertise are very good at building threat. And then, mastery, which I actually do. I have 5.3%, which is what 4% of my base. Increases your stagger amount. So.
Good night.
Wow, I was fit. Oh, okay. Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.